In this operation, we are blacking out around an observation deck. I'll be using a leaf blower. I think there's 2 on the crew today, along with hand tools, bladder bags, and 1-inch line. There are a lot of aspects about the leaf blower I really like. It allows you to blow to mineral soil very, very quickly, particularly after a fire's gone through. So when you're blowing out anything that's hot, you immediately blow to mineral soil. If you're putting out a line, the line that's already been burned is quickly blown to mineral soil. The thing I dislike about it, or 2 of the things I dislike about it, is 1, it doesn't cool off whatever you've just snuffed out. So if there's any hot ember still in there, any woody still punking around, they'll reignite fairly quickly. So if you're going to have someone follow up behind a leaf blower, they're going to have to follow up about 20 yards behind you, so that that person with the hand tool is able to see those flare-ups. Does a really good job of knocking down a line, but you probably only get about 98% of your line put out, and then it just reignites. The other thing I dislike about it is it kicks embers out in front of you, and if you're blowing the wrong direction or blowing into the green fuel, it puts those embers out into the green fuel and then starts spot fires. Those are actually really easy to contain as long as nothing else is going wrong. And you'll see this in the video where I blow embers out in front of myself, and I can go out and put them out. But you can imagine if I was struggling with a bigger fire line, that I could simply make things worse with it. Right here you can see those spot fires showing up in front of the flame front. Those are all surely caused by the leaf blower. In a couple places you can actually see the embers being blown in, still on fire out front, but we didn't have any spotting today, so I'm sure the spot fires that you're seeing are actually caused by the leaf blower. And again, right now it's easy to stuff them out while they're small, but you could easily imagine a situation where you're really struggling putting out the fire line that you want, and then you're kicking it up. And you'll see this happen again throughout the video.
To get below this rock, there's nothing. That sucks. There's nothing but fuel underneath there. So I don't know how far. Don't go past that until you get a command to. That sucks. You gonna hand me that? I'll do the same thing over here. You gonna take that?
So in this next series of clips, you're going to see us letting the fire burn underneath that structure. And the goal is to remove all of that fuel, so you might be a little alarmed to see that kind of fire underneath there. But we really need that fuel consumed. The problem that I had with the leaf blower, and this is only my second time using it, is I wasn't able to cool the fire down. If I had the backpack pump or a hose, I could have just put a quick spritz in there, cooled that fire off a little bit. Thinking back on it now, had I removed fire from spots, like you would go in and put a dot somewhere, put a dot, and then walk a little bit and put another dot, I could have done that with the leaf blower and cut out chunks of that line and slowed down that fire. You can see me when it flares up a couple of times into a head fire, or just hitting bunch grass and burning up. I start cutting down into it a little bit at a time, trying to knock that down. And you'll also see me put out the line as it moves out from underneath that structure. That allows me to control and pay attention to where the fire's at. So that's what I'm doing there. There's no particular main reason I'm putting that out. I just need to move down. The other thing you can see in this clip is the spot fires that I'm creating, putting out that bunch grass. And where I'm standing, oddly enough, on a really steep hill and putting fire down below me isn't a real problem. But you can imagine easily in a situation where that would be a problem, and may mean the leaf blower can't do what we really wanted to do. I've only had a couple of days playing with this leaf blower, so I don't have the experience I'd like to have to really get a good evaluation of it.
Come all the way up. over to here and we'll... Come to here. And then you're going to blow your torch out and stuff into here. There we go. Put this out.
So here's another problem with the leaf blower. As I'm walking up this slope, I inadvertently hit the kill switch and shut it off. Now this is the pull start, and I'm told that if you get good at it, you can pull start it while it's on your back. You can reach around behind you and grab that and start it. I wouldn't have had that skill set as on this day. Still makes one that actually you can start with a trigger on a switch on the trigger, so you can actually start it while you have it on, which would be a great idea. And given the situations that you might be in with this, one that may be more important than power. The most powerful ones is still cells don't have that feature yet, which is sort of weird. But the smaller ones, I think it's the 4000, 4500, can't remember what the model number is, has an actual start switch on the trigger, and it's electric start. You just push it and it starts right up. So if you're thinking about switching to this, I think as for a safety feature, that would be huge. So as I close this line and meet up with the other leaf blower, I turn around and walk back down my line just to make sure everything's out. There's a couple little hot spots that don't show up on the camera, but you can see the embers glowing, and I step on them, blow them, and then step on them. And then I stop and turn around and take a look back, and you can see another flare-up. So that place where that had flared up had been passed over twice, and had I had a hose and reeled it out and sprayed it, that would have never happened. So again, it's the danger of a leaf blower. It just doesn't cool off what you've knocked out. So I'll make another video highlighting the leaf blower against a head fire and some other operations that we used it on. But overall, I'm really, really impressed with it. If you go in knowing that you're going to need someone to come up behind that leaf blower with a tool and have them far enough behind that they can see a flare-up, this is extremely effective. When you're done putting out that line, you're not tired from using a rake or using a swatter to fight in among those sticks and the twigs. You're just holding a trigger and walking. Weighs maybe 11 pounds. The other drawback that you might have that we haven't talked about is having to carry fuel with you. Now, if you're just working on a prescribed fire operation, the fuel will be in the truck or whatever, but it's going to run out while you're firefighting, and so it's another lookout situation. If you're walking down that line expecting to put it out and suddenly run out of fuel, it's a bigger problem than, if you're walking with a swatter, you just keep swatting and putting it out. But I'm really impressed with it. The knowledge you just gained was made possible by the Loess Hills Cooperative Burn Week. This year we brought together more than 60 firefighters from across Iowa and neighboring states to learn from each other, put fire on the ground, and improve Iowa's natural resources. If you're interested in getting involved, contact the Loess Hills Visitor Center or your local agency.